start in this position here. So think about this as like, this is just guard. This is guard with one arm and a head inside instead of two arms. Right? So a lot of times when you first launch the triangle, you get here and you haven't yet gotten the arm exactly in the right position, and you haven't gotten your triangle locked in the right position. So do you have to get the arm across every time? No. If you have longer legs and the arm's positioned in a way that you can lock up, you don't have to get the arm across, but it's still important that you're accomplishing the goal that you need for choking. You need to have pressure on this side carotid, this side carotid. That's going to be the ideal choking situation. If you only have one carotid in there, you got to have a way better squeeze. You might not be able to get them to pass out. So generally, you're going to want this arm across. Certainly, you're not going to want it wedged. Sometimes you'll see people finish it with the arm back here, and you'll still be able to accomplish that squeeze with the shoulder pressing into his own carotid, and you're also your opposite side leg pressing into the carotid and accomplishing the choke. But a lot of times, you're going to want to get the arm across. Not only just across, you're going to want to get it underneath the chin. So if it's across, put your head down, and it's up here in the skull, you're probably not going to get the choke. You're not going to get the finish. Okay? So you're going to want that arm somewhere underneath the chin or around the line of the chin. Once it's across, you don't need to spend a lot of time with your hands or with your arms, a lot of effort holding their arm. Like their arm is going to be pinched like a sandwich between their head and your belly. So at this point, I want to focus on their posture. Now, pulling them down too low is going to leave me kind of in this position. There's too low and there's too high, just like an arm bar. You don't want them super jammed up into you, and you don't want them completely postured. Okay? So posture up a little bit. Walk your knees under your little. Yeah. So if he's up here, the arms across, my goal would be to start gathering his head, pulling them down, breaking that posture down, and getting them in that ideal range. Now, the next objective is to get the angle that allows me to lock it. And again, like if you have some flexibility or your partner is smaller, you might, like I can lock it here on Jordan, okay, because he's smaller than me. It makes it easier. But a lot of times you're going to need to get a little bit of angle. So to accomplish that angle, you're going to grab your shin. Try not to grab your shin right where you need to put your leg, because then you're going to have to move your hand. Just slide your hand up a little bit so you don't have to move your hand to lock it up in the right spot. Okay? So I grab my shin, leaving a little room for my leg to land behind my knee. Get a little bit of angle. And again, if I feel jammed up, feel like my back's rounded too much, I'm going to walk away on my shoulders first. Okay? I don't like to feel like I'm already about to get stacked as soon as I lock the triangle. So I do a shoulder walk. And having the foot in the hip here allows me to walk away without him being able to follow me. So the foot's in the hip, the knee's in the shoulder. Again, if the knee's wide like this, he might pull his arm out. Okay? So I want that knee against the shoulder, because ultimately I'm trying to get my heel and my knee connected. So I walk away on my shoulders, all right? And then I gather my angle, just a little pivot like you're doing an arm bar, little pivot here. Okay? I make sure that the back of my knee is biting right against the back of his neck. Again, I don't want a big space here that I can put my hand through, because then I have his shoulder and his carotid on this side, but nothing pinching on this side. So try to make sure that the back of your knee is glued right against the neck. Okay, get that angle. Sometimes I'll use this hand here to help keep that angle. You see I'm underhooking his arm. If his leg was up, I might underhook his leg. Okay, a lot of people like to underhook the arm and then reach. I don't just go, oh, I can't lock it up. It's not locking. I reach my leg up. Now I flex my ankle. Sometimes people get stuck right about here and then reach around here and pull their heel. That's fine. Don't start doing this and cranking your own foot. Grab higher, get at least some lock, and then if you need to make a little adjustment on the outside, you can. From there, you're going to grab the head and squeeze for the finish. There's a lot of details on the triangle. Okay? Questions on any of that? I want you to go back and just start in this position and work on adjusting your triangle. Actually, before we break, I just want to show you, it's easy for me to lock the triangle on Jordan. I don't have to really get the right angle. don't have to be so precise. Well, on Michael, I have to be more precise because I only have a certain amount of space in here. You see, there's a certain amount of space within the triangle of my legs. Like Adam, can you make a triangle? His triangle is bigger than mine. There's more space in there. Okay. Everybody has a different amount of space in there, so that space needs to fit that puzzle piece. Does that make sense? So if the space of, you know, his torso, his chest, and his neck, and his shoulder, right here, this area, it needs to fit in here, and the size of that is almost the exact size of this. Got to get that puzzle piece turned just right to be able to make it fit. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you're not going to get there. So practicing getting that angle is important. Again, if you're taller and bigger than everybody you train with, not quite as important. But if you want to do triangles and you're built more like me, you're going to want to figure this out. Because you can triangle anybody in the room, you just have to be more precise. Okay? So with Michael, again, here, remember how Jordan, I just like threw it up there? I can look, watch guys, I can lock this, but it's on his shoulder, it's back here. I'm probably not going to get the finish. I might, but it's not as likely. So when I adjust, I walk away on my shoulders, okay, I get this angle here, that allows me to lock it in, okay, back. Okay, so I got my legs here, get the arm across, grab my shin, put the hip, walk away a little bit, get some angle. You see how I bite right on the neck on this side, and I lock. And now pinch my knees and squeeze the back of the head. Questions? Rock two.